So more on physical security controls, we have premises and company surroundings. So we have things like fences, gates, walls, alarms, closed circuit television cameras or CCTVs. Intruder systems, like you may have pressure points on the fence so that if somebody's pressing on the fence, the pressure is sensed, the change. They may have pressure plates in the ground where people running across the ground are detected if they weigh over, say, 50 pounds or something, in case you have dogs also. You may have dogs also to protect the grounds. Panic buttons, so panic buttons in strategically placed areas like out in the parking lot for your employees in case there's somebody tries to snatch and grab in the parking lot. Burglar alarms, windows and door bars, deadbolts, deadlocks, etc. In the reception area, you want to lock the important files and documents. Don't leave them floating around. People walk away from their desk. I can go in, snatch stuff, take pictures of stuff. And you want to lock equipment when it's not in use. So this is important today. They have contact lenses with little micro cameras embedded in them. So I can walk around and you'll never see the camera on me. They also have pins and watches that have cameras in them. So I can just go and film stuff and you won't even know, even if you're watching it on the camera, right? So we have servers and workstation areas. We want to lock the systems when not in use, disable, avoid having removable media and DVD-ROM drives. CCTV cameras in these secure spaces and workstation layout design accordingly so that one camera can maybe see the whole room appropriately, that kind of thing. And then other equipment such as fax modem and removable media. You want to lock fax machines when not in use while the fax is obtained properly, or file the fax is obtained properly. Disable auto answer mode for modems. Do not place removable media in public places, and physically destroy the corrupted removable media. So this is an important one. You'll see a couple of test questions on this, and the first one, premises and company surroundings. So lock the fax machine when not in use. File the faxes obtained, so the incoming faxes, you want to take those and lock them away as they come in, or preferably send them to a mailbox instead of printing them directly so that they can be printed on demand, because they're just going to sit there until someone grabs them, right? And then if somebody does send a fax and somebody snatches it, how do you know that one is missing? So you need a way to kind of check that. So you got to think about that. Fax machines are, a lot of people still think they're good security because it's old school technology. It may be harder to eavesdrop on it versus getting in someone's email. So like medical people still use these quite a bit and trust them. But you know, the physical access to them is usually not controlled very well at all. Even at hospitals, it's incredibly, I see it all the time, where I'm like, man, I could just walk, this is so dumb. I had to fax this thing, I went through all this trouble, and now I could just walk up here and snatch this thing. This is just dumb, right? So don't be stupid about that kind of thing. Don't miss that if you're doing an assessment. And then now on to access control. Separate work areas, implement biometric access controls like fingerprints, retinal scanning, iris scanning, vein structure recognition, face recognition, and voice recognition. Entry cards, man traps, faculty sign-in procedures, identification badges, etc. So, there's a lot of different stuff we could talk about in here. So, separate work areas. You don't want your security team working out in the public with the rest of the organization. That can leak information. If there's a breach, someone may eavesdrop on that and then go and report that to a public entity like a newspaper or something like that. With respect to fingerprinting, sometimes those can be faked with tape and things like that, so you want to kind of take that into consideration. And with respect to accuracy, right? So accuracy goes this way, inside out. So the iris, the back of your eyeball, the closest thing to your brain is the most secure. The iris is the second. The handprint is the third, and then the fingerprint is the fourth. So the further away you get from your brain, the least accurate it is. So the closer you get to your brain, the more accurate it is. So in the order of accuracy from least to best, it's fingerprint, palm, iris, retina. Retina is a vein scan. It's looking at the back of your eyeball on the curved part. The iris scan is the outer part of your eye, the front part, okay? So as you leave your brain, you get less and less accurate. Okay, so that's how you remember which one's more accurate. With respect to badges, just remember I wouldn't put my name and that I'm an elite member of a security team. You know, don't advertise more than you need to advertise. People need to know whom you are, what your name is. That's about it. And you might even abbreviate your name. In other words, not give them your full name. What else do we need to discuss in here? So we talked about the face recognition. So again, the face is less accurate than the iris and then the retina. The closer you get to the brain, the more accurate it is from your hand upwards. Man traps. So a man trap, which today will probably get rebranded as a person trap, is a box. And you walk into this box and then you walk out of the box. So if you've ever been to like an Equinox data center, you will have traversed a man trap. But these are big man traps, or most of the time they're going to be smaller than that. They're little boxes about a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. I'm a big guy, so they're not much bigger, not much wider than me, maybe a foot. They're about 4 feet deep, and they're just big enough for open a door, you walk through, and then the door closes. So they're going to fit you in a door. The ones at the data centers are bigger because you might be carrying equipment into or out of the data center. And the way it works is they have 2 doors. And they have an access control system on the outside of each door and on the inside of each door. So as you're coming in, you go through the first door, the door closes. Then you've got to get through the second door, and then you get through the second door. Okay, so I just used my same credentials twice. Why is that secure? Well, it prevents piggybacking, so people can't come in behind you. But like at Equinox data centers, I piggyback all the time, but people are pretty good about making me put my pin in. I always try it just to see. Just to kind of check the security. And the guards, you have to sign in with the guards in the front, and they're watching you as well, and they're making notes. I ask them. So I'm like, hey, did you notice I just piggybacked? And he's like, yeah, we got a note of that right here. So they do film and everything, and they record all of their video. So these are things that you want to check and ask about. It's important stuff, and it raises the security posture. So you don't want to just kind of go along. You know, these things are in place for a reason.